Yehovah, open my ears as if I were seated on the hillside at Yeshua's feet. Let me hear his voice speaking blessing, purity, and righteousness, and kingdom calling. Shape my life by his words, and make his teaching the foundation of my obedience. Yehovah Shofet, Yehovah the Judge, Yehovah, the one who judges with perfect righteousness and truth. Righteous Judge, weigh my heart as Yeshua weighs motives in this chapter. Transform my inner life so my actions mirror your holiness. Let my righteousness flow not from appearance, but from a pure and obedient heart. Yehovah Shofet, holy, holy, holy. Please fill me and lead me, and cover me and stir me, and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, your set-apart breath, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah, the Anointed, the Aleph and the Tav, the name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yeh-ho-VAH. Hen, behold, now, behold. Matthew chapter 5. Seeing the crowds, Yeshua, the Aleph and the Tav, walked up the hill. After he sat down, his Talmudim, disciples, came to meet him, and he began to speak. This is what he taught them. How blessed are the poor in spirit, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. How blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. How blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. How blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. How blessed are those who show mercy, for they will be shown mercy. How blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. How blessed are those who make peace, for they will be called sons of God. How blessed are those who are persecuted because they pursue righteousness, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. How blessed you are when people insult you and persecute you and tell all kinds of vicious lies about you because you follow me. Rejoice, be glad, because your reward in heaven is great. They persecuted the prophets before you in the same way. You are the salt for the land. But if salt becomes tasteless, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except being thrown out for people to trample on. You are light for the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Likewise, when people light a lamp, they do not cover it with a bowl, but put it on a lampstand, so that it shines for everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before people, so that they may see the good things you do and praise your Father in heaven. Don't think that I have come to abolish the Torah or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to complete. Yes, indeed, I tell you that until heaven and earth pass away, not so much as a yud or a stroke will pass from the Torah, not until everything that must happen has happened. So whoever disobeys the least of these mitzvot and teaches others to do so will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys them and so teaches will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness is far greater than that of the Torah teachers and the Prushim, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that our fathers were told, do not murder, and that anyone who commits murder will be subject to judgment. But I tell you that anyone who nurses anger against his brother will be subject to judgment. that whoever calls his brother, "You good for nothing," will be brought before the Sanhedrin. That whoever says, "Fool," incur the penalty of burning in the fire of Gehenna. So if you are offering your gift at the temple altar, and you remember there that your brother has something against you, leave your gift where it is by the altar and go. Make peace with your brother. Then come back and offer your gift. If someone sues you, come to terms with him quickly, while you and he are on the way to court. Or if he may hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the officer of the court, and you may be thrown in jail. Yes, indeed, I tell you, you will certainly not get out until you have paid the last penny. You have heard that our fathers were told, "Do not commit adultery." But I tell you that a man who even looks at a woman with the purpose of lusting after her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye makes you sin, gouge it out and throw it away. Better that you should lose one part of you than have your whole body thrown into Gehenna. And if your right hand makes you sin, cut it off and throw it away. Better that you should lose one part of you than have your whole body thrown into Gehenna. It is said, "Whoever divorces his wife must give her a get." But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except on the ground of fornication makes her an adulteress, and that anyone who marries a divorcee commits adultery. Again, you have heard that our fathers were told, "Do not break your oath and keep your vows to Yehovah." But I tell you, not to swear at all. Not by heaven, because it is God's throne, not by the earth, because it is his footstool, and not by Jerusalem, because it is the city of the great king. And don't swear by your head, because you can't make a single hair white or black. Just let your yes be a simple yes and your no be a simple no. Anything more than this has its origins in evil. You have heard that our fathers were told, "Eye for eye and tooth for tooth." But I tell you, not to stand up against someone who does you wrong. On the contrary, if someone hits you on the right cheek, let him hit you on the left cheek too. If someone wants to sue you for your shirt, let him have your coat as well. And if a soldier forces you to carry a pack for 1 mile, carry it for 2. When someone asks you for something, give it to him. When someone wants to borrow something from you, lend it to him. You have heard that our fathers were told, "Love your neighbor and hate your enemy." But I tell you, love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. Then you will become children of your Father in heaven. For he makes the sun shine on good and bad people alike, and he sends rain to the righteous and to the unrighteous alike. What reward do you have if you only love those who love you? Why, even tax collectors do that. And even if you are friendly only to your friends, are you doing anything out of the ordinary? Even the Gentiles do that. Therefore, be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this fascinating 5th chapter of Matthew? How can we love Yehovah with all our heart, soul, and mind and strength? We can love Yehovah by seeking righteousness that begins inside, not in outward display. Love Yehovah by honoring Torah as Yeshua did, recognizing he came to fulfill, not abolish. Love Yehovah by guarding your thoughts and motives, treating inward sin as serious as outward sin. Love Yehovah by pursuing mercy, peace, and purity, even when persecuted for righteousness. How can we love our neighbors as we love ourselves and as Yeshua loves us? By reconciling quickly rather than letting anger grow. By protecting relationships from betrayal, lust, and deceit. By offering generosity without demanding anything in return. By loving even enemies, overcoming evil with goodness. How can we bear one another's burdens? By helping people pursue reconciliation, not revenge. by walking with those struggling to purify their inner life, by strengthening the persecuted, reminding them that their reward is great in heaven. What are the top 3 fruits of the Spirit found? 1. Peace, shalom. Blessed are the peacemakers. They bear Yehovah's image. 2. Mercy, rachamim. Merciful hearts reflect Yehovah's compassion. 3. Purity, tahar. The pure in heart behold Yehovah. Echoes of the Tanakh. Psalm 37:11. The meek shall inherit the land, echoed in Yeshua's blessing over the humble. Exodus 20, verses 13 and 14, the commandments against murder and adultery. Yeshua deepens them to level of thoughts and motives. Leviticus 19:18, love your neighbor as yourself. Yeshua expands this toward enemy love. Isaiah 66, verse 1, heaven is my throne, earth is my footstool, connected to letting your oath be simple and true. Leviticus 24:20, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Yeshua calls his disciples beyond retaliation. These passages illuminate Yeshua's teaching. He intensifies Torah by aiming at their heart. What is the mitzvah response, Torah-based? Command, be holy, for I, Yehovah, your God, am holy. Leviticus 19, verse 2, fulfillment note. Yeshua reveals holiness as a heart posture, purity of thought, sincerity of motive, integrity of speech, and costly love. How can we find Yeshua in the scriptures? Finding the Yeshua and the Tanakh connection. Yeshua stands as the new Moses, teaching Torah from a mountain. He fulfills Psalm 37's promise by giving the meek their inheritance. He takes Leviticus and Exodus deeper, driving righteousness inward. He embodies the servant calling, gentle, pure, merciful, steadfast. His authority surpasses that of the scribes because he speaks the Father's heart. Yeshua is Torah. Yeshua is Torah embodied, righteousness revealed, and the living voice of Yehovah calling his disciples to kingdom life. Now we'll have the 3 heart-piercing questions. Yeshua said our righteousness must surpass that of the scribes and Pharisees. Where in your inner life have you settled for looking moral on the outside while quietly tolerating anger, lust, forgiveness, and hidden revenge on the inside? When Yeshua calls his disciples the salt of the earth, the light of the world, are you actually preserving and illuminating the places he has put you? Or have you gone bland and hidden, blending in so well that no one around you is confronted by his presence in you? Yeshua commands us to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. Whose name, face, or story do you refuse to bring before Yehovah in honest prayer, revealing that you still prefer the satisfaction of quiet hostility over costly mercy for the kingdom? What is the Hebrew word that encapsulates this chapter? Tzedek, righteousness. Justice, righteousness, alignment with Yehovah's standard. Yeshua does not lower Torah. He magnifies its heart. Tzedek becomes eternal, not merely external. We'll end with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he'll provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you, set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Hebrew declaration. Hanini Yehovah Shofet. Here I am, Yehovah my judge. Search my heart, make my righteousness genuine.